The art of snapping perfect laces. All right. Most important thing is we have to have constants. So let's get our feet set. We're going to have a good stance. We're going to get our feet a little wider apart. All right. The constant will be to always take the ball and put it to the line. All right. No matter how the ball is forward, back, or on the line, we always take the nose to the line. And the other constant will be where he catches the ball, so that we get the same amount of rotations and the laces come up. All right, so yesterday we had trouble finding out where we wanted to get the laces. So what we figured out now, and what everybody can use, if the coach wants the ball at 7.5, all right, what we found out yesterday is we can take and move the ball a quarter turn here and get the laces at 7.5. If we rotate it clockwise to about there, we can get perfect laces at 8. And if we go 8 1/4 and holding the laces down below, we can get it at 8 1/4. Now, I don't really like guys snapping the ball without the laces, so I've usually been able to figure out, holding the laces, that we can move the holder 7.5, 7 2/3, 8, or 8 1/4, and still get perfect laces. But for right now, for this demonstration, Jorgen Hus here from Regina, Canada, we've got a system for him, who last year he's with the Rams, going to any training camp. Depending on what the coach wants, he can hit perfect laces. We're going to start at 7.5. We're going to have the laces at 1/8 of a turn to the left. All right, here we go. Start with the ball on the line. On your mark, get set, finish. There you go. Show the laces. Perfect lace right there. We're going to move back to 8. Okay, now we're going to take and move the ball from 1/8 of a turn out to 1/8 of a turn in. All right? The constant will be put the nose of the ball on the line, get your target, on your mark, get set, finish. Perfect laces again. Now we're going to move back to 8 1/4. And now we're going to move the laces down further to about 5 o'clock. All right, put the nose on the line, get your target, ready, finish. There you go. There you have it. There is a science, all right, to the art of snapping, or snapping perfect laces. So it's really basically, what'd you call it? Physics? Or would you call it just math?
Both.
I'm not sure what you call it. If it's math, physics, or whatever. To me, it was common sense. Because when Mick Tingelhoff taught me this, he was the snapper. He was actually the Pro Bowl center for the Minnesota Vikings. And I was trying out with the Vikings, and I was a kicker, and everything was always at 7 way back then. And what happened is, I was back there getting ready to kick, and Paul Krause, who was a Hall of Fame safety, was the holder. And he was warming up, and the ball came out, and the laces weren't coming out. And he says, Paul, move back. And he moved back, and all of a sudden, boom, 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 the laces were right there. I was like 20 of 21 on field goals. Wow. It's like I didn't even have a snapper or holder. The ball was there. Yeah. I had a great day, and I signed a contract. And after, because being a physical education teacher and being a mechanics person, I went in and said, how'd you do that? He said, it's pretty simple. You know, if you just snap the ball and the revolutions, and if the revolutions don't come out, you basically, tell the guy to move forward or back, depending on how he's catching it. Some holders will catch it at different distances. Mm-hmm. He says, I don't like to snap without the laces, so I just move the holder. And other guys can move the laces. But you'll find out, if you got a small hand, you don't want to be snapping without laces, because in wet weather, cold weather, you don't have the same grip on the ball, and you might not have the same nice tight spiral. So that's kind of how I learned how to do it, and I've taught it throughout, my career, and I've gone to clinics and talked about it. But what I did is, when I was in college, right? When I was in college, all the kicks were being blocked up the middle when the college kickers went from the tee to the ground, and they could come up and jump. Now, you guys in Canada are still using a block, which gets the ball up faster. But the American kicker was having a problem getting it up, and these guys were running and taking guys 6'7" and jumping and blocking kicks. So first thing I did is I'm moving back a yard to 8, so I get 1 more yard of elevation, and that totally changed everything. And then everybody started going back to 8 because they figured out, hey, those guys are at 8 yards. Yeah, but that's the way you snap perfect laces, and that was a great job, Jorgen. Way to go. All right.